How to start a nail business in 2026 in 10 steps. Happy 2026 for everybody. This is my first video in 2026. I'm a year older because my birthday was a few days ago. So I decided to make this first video in the year about how to start a nail business. If you would like to start one, please stick around because I'm going to show you in 10 steps how to start it and make it work from scratch. And as I always say, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any question, feel free to comment me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I always really like to talk about this because I started 10 years ago. I'm from a different country. I'm Hungarian and I moved to Northern Ireland in 2015. So it's actually over 10 years. And basically I started everything from scratch because I didn't have any money at all and I didn't know the language at all. So everything came for me in one go. So let's jump in. So let's start with the first step. It's basically your mindset and your decision. Obviously you have to make the decision that you want to become a nail technician. What I noticed during the year, because I teach as well, that there are basically two ways to become a nail technician. If you were like me, a disappointed client, I will never forget. I moved to this country and my nails were growing out and I had to find a nail technician, but I couldn't speak the language. So somebody find me one and I went to get my nails done and it was long and this one was short and lumpy and bumpy and I had no two similar shapes. It was a disaster. And obviously at the time I wasn't a nail technician, but as a nail client I could tell that there are issues with this. I was like, that's a downfall for me. I cannot live without nails. So the next day, at that time boyfriend, I told him if I was a nail technician I could do my own nails. So that was my only reason to want to become a nail technician, because I could do my own nails and I could provide quality for myself. So the next day I decided to book in a nail course and I went back to my country to do the course because I got better education over there than here in Northern Ireland, because I went like, if this girl can do this quality, what others can do. So long story short, that's how I become a nail technician, because I was a disappointed nail client. The other way some people become a nail technician, they just have a general love for nails and they decide to learn the whole profession and they just become it. The point of being a nail technician that you provide a luxury treatment to other people and they pay money for your services. I'm saying luxury because if you get your nails done, it's not an essential thing. So basically you can live without them. So that's why it qualifies as a luxury treatment, even if you get your lashes done or if you get a facial treatment done. Because if I say that you need a life-saving surgery, obviously it's more essential to keep you alive than getting your nails done. So your mindset has to be that I'm a high quality girl, I'm a high quality woman, and I want to provide high quality nail service to people who find my place and come to me to get their nails done. I believe if you want to become a nail technician because there's good money in it, if you want to be a nail technician because I have to find a job, you will never be good, really, because not judging, but you have to have this sort of excitement. You have to have this sort of, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to buy colors. I can't wait to try this new thing. Because if you don't have this kind of feeling in you, probably this job would be just a burden for you. And your clients will pick up on that vibe. So I don't think it would be the best decision for you to do it if you just pick this for the choice. I talk from experience because when I was teaching, I had some student who just went like, you know what, I just want to learn this. I just want a certificate. They never had a client base. They never really went into it. So it is not the best idea if you want to go that way. There are other nail technicians actually who would be like, okay, I'm going to learn this and I'm just going to do the easiest way possible, the nail treatment. And I want to take 10 clients a day. I want to take my money. This is the bad way. These nail technicians will never last as long as the ones who have the passion, who have the love for this. Because nail clients will stick around if you are the right one for them. That means that you can provide beautiful and long-lasting nails. A lot of people get confused because people want beautiful nails. Yes, it's correct. But people want them to last at least 3 weeks. So if you can do beautiful nails, but you can't make them long lasting, you're your people will won't stick around because you don't give them what they want, you don't give them what they pay for. Now, basically, this brings us to the second point, which is do the nail course. If you live in a different country, obviously the courses will be different. What you get here, what you get back in my country. In this country, in UK and Northern Ireland, you can do 1/2, 3, 4 day nail courses. In my country, the nail course was an intense course. That means that I went 4 times a week and it lasted me 3 months to do it. I assume that I have people who watch me from America or India or Germany and these kind of places. Obviously, your country can be completely different. So at this point, I can't really tell you what to do, but I can suggest that you find a nail course that is not 1 day or 2 day or 4 day or 3 day, because you will learn absolutely nothing. You will need to find a course, even if it's a bit more money and if you can afford it, that it will give you what you need. I tell you why, because I done my 3 months course back in my country. I qualified as a nail technician and I came back and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. You know why? Because in my country, there's a crop system. I think I had 300 hours on the course, what I spent there, and I learned basically everything what is possible to learn in 3 months. And I passed my exams, but they made me to learn what kind of nails to do for the exams. And the exam nail was the 2/3 nude, 1/3 white French. And the thing is that nobody will ever ask for these kind of nails. So basically, when I came back and I started my own business, I was sitting there and I had no idea what to do. So I ended up going back 3 times to my country, and I paid crazy money to world famous nail educators and nail Olympic champions to teach me what the real deal is. Otherwise, I had no knowledge. So I didn't feel confident as a nail technician to provide good enough nails to clients. And I guess you pretty much figure this out, that once you do your very first course, it's not going to be the last one. It's going to be the first one, but not the last one. So I do really suggest in the future to start to build up more knowledge, go on extension courses, learn a new technique. If you like to learn Russian manicure or whatever it is for you, go and educate yourself, because if you are more skilled, that means you can help to more different people, because you will see, if you become a nail technician, everybody has different nails, so you will have to have that good amount of knowledge to be able to provide. Once you pick a nail course, I would suggest at the end, if you can do it, that offer gel polish on natural nails and offer extensions, because if you have two different things to offer, you will have more chances to get more clients in. What do I mean by this? So if you only do a gel polish course, you're only going to be able to do nails for people who have good enough natural nails and they don't want longer, they are happy enough, and the party is over here for you. But if you can offer extensions, that means that there's going to be another group of people around you who would be suitable for you, or you would be suitable for them, and they can go to your place and book in with you because you can provide, so you can give them what they want. And if you had the decision, you picked the course, you done the course, and you qualified, obviously now basically you got a green light. So the third step is that you have to legalize your business. In this country, I can tell you, you have to call HMRC and you have to register yourself as self-employed, and you will have to file tax returns every year after that. Again, I don't know what's going on in different countries, so I would suggest to call an accountant, even if you live in the UK or Northern Ireland, and find out about that, because they will be able to give you the proper information and you're not going to miss out on anything, and you can start out straight ahead and do everything what you have to do legally. Because if you have your own business, that means that everything is your own responsibility. So you have an income, you have outgoings, you have expenses, and you will have to make sure that your tax return at the end of the tax year will be, uh, right in the head and everything. So you have to figure that out through finding an accountant, and they will tell you everything you need to know. So the fourth point is, like, you have to find a place where you can start out. 10 years ago, I finished my nail course, I got my qualification, I came back from Hungary to Northern Ireland, and I had one brush, one lump, and the 9 colors. That's how broke I was. I had no money at all. So basically I spent my last pennies on gel polishes because I was like, I have to have something. Um, I started to do nails in the kitchen. Yes, you heard it right. I was doing nails from the kitchen. It was a very short period of time. And when I turned 30, I went to the IKEA and I bought this beautiful chair for £7 and this other table for another £15 because that's how much I had to invest in. And I started to do nails from that desk and from that uh, chair. That was it. But always remember, you start a business. That means that it's completely okay that you don't have 5 grand to burn on stuff. I, if you don't have, for example, but I didn't have, support from family, or you don't have that either, that means that you will have to play with what you have, which is completely fine. And obviously, when I had that £35 to spend on that desk and 2 chairs, I had a spare room. So I started to do nails from that spare room. And later on, when I had more money, I started to save money on the side. And I exchanged that 15-pounder table for a very high quality uh, nail technician desk. Basically, there's a company that does these tables especially for nail technicians, and there's a built-in dust collector, and the length and the width of the table is absolutely perfect for doing nails, and it's very comfortable. So obviously down the line you can invest in one of these and it will make everything easier for you. Because I was in a different country, I really wanted to find out how life is if you work in a beauty salon. So I started to search for beauty places that were looking for nail technicians. And I went into one, and I think I could work there for like 3 weeks, and I quit immediately because it was awful. It didn't work for me, but I was basically employed by the person. So I got like an hourly wage. And when I started to see how much money I'm losing out on because I'm employed, it was an absolute turn off for me. I'm not saying it's going to be the case for everybody. I just wanted the experience. But after a month or 6 weeks or something like that, I quit. And that was basically, you know, when it pushed my button to pull myself together and take it more seriously and jump into it and play in big, actually. In order to start a nail business, you will need a starter kit. And I talked about this a little bit before. It's true again. It's okay if you don't have everything from day one. As I told you, I had one brush, one lump, and 9 colors. But when I started to get nail clients and I started to get income from that, from clients, I separated 3 or 4 pound after every each client. And when I had like 30, 40 pound, I could buy some new colors. So basically, it's okay if you build up your your starter kit is a starter kit, but if you build it up slowly, week by week, month by month, and you will get there. Of course, it's going to be easier to get clients if you have more colors to offer, but I always say if you have 10 colors, and please take notes right now because I'm going to tell you what is the secret. You don't need really more than 10, 15 colors because I can show you I have 400 colors and I only use 15 of them. There are some colors that I never even open because nobody wants them. If you have black, white, red, green, yellow, from these colors, basically you nearly can mix any kind of color you really want. But if you feel really shy about this, you want more, you can buy a magenta color, you can buy a lovely purple, you can buy a nude, a brown, and pick another extra color. What I can suggest, and it's actually a very good point, if you buy a pink, buy a darker pink, because from darker pink, if you mix it with white, it becomes light pink. Buy a darker blue, and if you mix it with white, it becomes a lighter blue. If you mix yellow with blue, it's going to be green, but it depends on how much you mix into it. You can turn it into a turquoise. So basically, you have loads, but you just have to be a little bit more smart and mix colors. If you want another video on mixing colors, please let me know. I'm happy to show you every kind of variation, what you can do with this. And after you had these 10 colors, buy some shimmery slash sparkly colors. it could be a sparkly black, a sparkly whitish color, a silver, a gold, and maybe a rose gold or a sparkly pink, and your clients will be more than happy. It is not forever, just to start out with, and believe me, it will work. The other important thing is when it comes to the starter kit is that there are going to be certain things that you're going to use a lot more than the other ones. For example, doesn't matter what kind of client do you have, you will have to use a nail file. So buy more nail files because you will run out very quickly of nail files. The top coat is going to be that one thing that you're going to use on each client, no matter what, if you do gel polish or extensions. So I would buy an extra 2 top coats. Always make sure that when you buy the top coat, make sure the top coat is flexible, because if you buy a rigid one, it will, when the nails start bending, it will look like if it was a spider web. So always make sure you buy a better quality top coat. I tried out cheaper top coats and I noticed that they lose their shimmer very quickly. It never worth the money. The other thing is when it comes to starter kits, that you buy higher quality gel polishes, because if it's a lower quality, probably cheaper, but they won't cover in one coat, so you will have to put on 2 coats. And we all know if you put on 2 coats, it's never going to be as good looking if it was one coat. And also, if you have to use the color twice, you will run out a lot quicker. So basically, you will have to buy it a lot more faster than if you use a high quality one in one coat. It will last a lot longer, and also it will reduce your working time, because if you, let's say it takes 5 minutes to apply the colors on 5 nails, it means it will take you another 10 minutes to apply 2 coats. And if you have 5 clients a day, it's going to be an extra hour of work at the very end. So I suggest to get better quality, what is available in your country, because it will pay out at the end. So now the 6th point is your business name and logo plus Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Your name will be your name. My business name is Rosberry's Nail Art. It's a funny story why it become like that, but this name that I'm called Rosberry's Nail Art, it's good because why would you put like a fruit with nails? And the raspberry is basically my nickname translated from Hungarian to English, because I realized that people in here cannot say my nickname in Hungarian. So I just translated it raspberry. And it's memorable because nobody would call me Apple's nails. So I can see a lot of times it happens that girls would put their own name and nails. If it works for you, works for you. Um, if you go into ChatGPT, it will help you out, I promise. But once you have your name, you need a logo. Like I'm really hoping, like you're sitting right now, because I'm gonna tell you how much I paid for logo onto this channel's little logo. So be a professional nail technician or be a pro nail tech. That's my business name on YouTube. And the fella done my logo, and that logo, what you can see there, it cost me £350 because I was told he's a professional. I tell you that now we have ChatGPT, we have Canva, we have an iPad with an Apple Pencil and Procreate. I could do a lot better logo with these tools than what fella charged me 350 for. Obviously at the time I didn't have any of these and I learned my lesson, but please don't spend hundreds of pounds on logos, because at the end of the day nobody's going to give a flying. If you've seen my previous videos, or probably you notice me from my hair or from my background or from something. But okay, my background has changed because I moved house. I didn't say that, but I bought a house. And obviously, if you remember, I had that gray, silver looking brick wall paper behind me. Now I don't have it. Now it's a completely different room, a completely different place. So uh, the logo really doesn't matter that much. I know you think it is, but it's really, really not. Okay, so the next part of this is your Instagram, Facebook, and Google. You have to be present on these social media platforms, especially on Google. I always say Google because imagine how many people are out there who do not have Facebook or Instagram, but they still want to get their nails done. So you give those people a chance to find you if you are on Google. I cannot tell you how many people find me because they didn't have Instagram or Facebook, but they have Google. And Google is a very, very useful place to put your business at, and you can put yourself on Google Maps as well because people will find you. Once you create your Facebook, don't create it if it was a private profile, create it as a business page because that's how you're going to be able to will give you basically the chance to other people to find you. And obviously, I'm going to tell you that you will have to put content on your social media because people will find it, people will see it, people will like it, comment on it, and that's how you're going to reach more and more people. And when you start your nail business, you will have to make sure that you will reach a lot of people because that's how these people who are watching you on the social media and Google will become your clients. Once you have all of these, everything what we're talking about so far, you will have to start to advertise yourself. Of course, you have your own Facebook account. You can share your business page on your personal profile and say, "Hi, everybody, friends and family. I started a nail business. I have available appointments. Hit me up if you need to get your nails done." So you have to put the word out there because you know a lot of people, but they don't know what you started. So you have to tell them like, "Here I am as a nail technician now, and I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to do your nails. I know you probably feel shy and these kind of stuff." Yes, you have to swallow the bitter pill and you have to be confident and put yourself out there and start do it. Obviously, it makes it easier if you start to do nails for your family and friends. For example, when I was at my nail course back in my country, my mom was my model and I was practicing on her nails all the time. And it turned out that I was using her too many times as a nail model. So when I had to do my homework for the next day, I asked my dad and I painted his nails red. It's completely okay if, because if you start to do your friends and family's nails, you're more comfortable than if you were sitting there with a complete stranger. So make it easier for you. If it's easier for you to start to do your mom's nails, your sister's nails, your best friend's nails, just do that. And once you are done, take photos of the nails once you are done. And that's going to be the content what you can put on your social media. And that's how you're going to start to reach more people. So our next point is that you take photos. I noticed that I will show you what's the difference. Like just you take a photo or you start to record a video and you will screenshot the perfect moment out of the video. And in that case, the photo will be a lot better quality than that's what I noticed with my phone. I don't know what kind of phone do you have, but if this is the case, try it out and see if you get any kind of difference because in my phone it's a 14 iPhone 14 Plus and I noticed that I get so much better quality if I start to record a video and I put the settings up the highest and I take a screenshot and it looks so much better than if I just took a proper photo of it. The photo is gonna be your best friend because doing nail, like if you get your nails done, it's very visual. So people will book in with you because they like what they see. Like for example, if you were selling insurance, which is invisible, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't lick it, it's just so much harder to sell. Nails is that one thing that is easy to sell because you take a photo and it's gonna look nice, it looks elegant, and people be like, okay, this is what I want, and they're gonna message you and they will book you an appointment, and now you have a client. The next point is gonna be to price your services. Yes, it is completely common thing that when you start to do nails when you're practicing, you don't really charge money. I never really charged money before I got my certificate, but I charge smaller amount of money when I started to do nails for real. Obviously, the first ones are not going to be so crazy perfect, and it's completely fine because you don't forget you just started something completely brand new. But every time you're done, you take a photo and you're going to put it up there and you will have to find out how to price your service. Yes, In the first 3 months, I charged very small money, and it was completely okay because I didn't have much experience. I was really nervous. I actually had no idea what I was doing. It was completely fine. But once I started to invest more money into my nail knowledge, into my profession, I started to charge more because I'd become a lot better in for like in a few months. So what you have to consider when you set your prices, that it will take you time to do nails. It will cost you products. I wouldn't say electric because probably it's not going to be a lot of electric what you're going to be using. But you had to invest in it, and you qualified as some sort of profession. The other thing what you have to consider, that you have to have some profit on it, and you will have to pay tax after this income. Also, because you're self-employed, you are not paid for holidays. So if you don't work, you just don't make money, and you are not get paid if you are sick. So there are more factors, but for now, just put these numbers down and try to come up with an idea what it would be the best to start out with starting prices. I changed my prices 3 times altogether, and now I charge double as much what I started out with. Also, at the end of the day, at the start you will be a lot slower because it's all new, but if you had 50 clients done, obviously you're going to become a little faster. So basically your hourly wage will work out better later on than at the very start. But in my language we have a saying that it goes like, you have to pay the price because you are learning something at the start. So you're not going to be able to make a profit from day one, which is completely fine. But down the line, you will have to figure out how it's going to work out the best for you. I would suggest don't start on very, very low, because if you start on a very low price, you will just send a message to people that you are not good, you are too cheap, that like it's going to be unattractive if you're too cheap. Also, if you start from too low, it's going to be a lot harder to rise the price up. So if I was you, I would start somewhere in between, and it's going to be easier to raise a little bit up later on than from starting very low and make a big jump. So after all of this, when you have your starter kit, when you have your qualification, the place, and you had a few people, down the line you will have some clients who are coming back to you, so they become kind of a regular clients, even if they are friends or family or neighbors or whoever they are. If they come back to you, that means that they are happy enough with your service, and they love to be at your place. So after 2 3 times, you can ask them, would you be okay to leave me a review, please? It is important because that's how you're gonna basically build a bridge between you and the people don't know you. So if somebody doesn't know you, how could they decide if they want you? Obviously, if they can see some reviews that this girl is great, this girl is nice, this girl is friendly, lovely, my nail lasts, I get what I want, I love the nail art, I love the colors, I love the shapes, something like that. A new person who never met you before, they're going to be like, okay, I believe this person is trustworthy, so I'm going. So the secret is that if you have someone you never had before at your nail place, that means that you have to build a trust. Otherwise, they're not going to book in with you. So the only way basically to gain their trust, that you ask the people who are already your clients to leave a review, and it's going to be a starter point for other people who don't know you yet. For example, in Google, if you have more reviews, when somebody is looking for nails near me, and if you're on the map, Google will know that you are around that person. So if you have, let's say, 10 reviews and the other nail business around you will have just 6 or 3, you will be the top search because you have the most. Also, they should be 5-star review, but I lived in that different little town before, and I was always top one because I always ask my clients, please leave me a review, little. And there's a walk-in place that there's no hand wash, there's no kindness, there's no high quality, there's nothing. They're only attraction point is that you don't have to book in an appointment, because you just walk in and you sit down and they're going to do your nails in 40 minutes. It's going to be ugly, it's going to be crap, you're going to hate them, but at least you have your nails, and they are also expensive. And that place has a lot more reviews because they have a lot of one-star reviews where people find about this badness in them and they just put it in basically the reviews. So maybe I was number two because of that other place, because they had more like a number of more, not like better reviews. So the point is that feel free to ask your clients to leave the review, because it will help you to rank better on Google, on Facebook, and that's how they're going to find you. And this is for your own benefit. So I really recommend to do this, even if it gets you out of your comfort zone. It's okay. But if you want a nail business you never had before, you have to do something you never done before. So I encourage you to do it, because that's going to be the way that you're going to start to make more money and bring your business up, level up, 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 up. Well, that would be all for today. I really hope I could help you. I really hope you could take some notes and I give you better ideas, what you had in your head. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, and I would come up with a new video soon. So see you in the next one. Bye.